Welcome. Have you ever watched an athlete and just wondered what really separates the good from the truly great? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look past the training, past the raw talent, and dive into the invisible world of physics, where unseen forces are shaping every single play.
You might think it's just pure muscle or some kind of natural gift, but the real secret, it's way more fundamental than that. It's a constant, high-stakes battle of physical forces, playing out in every moment of every game, and most of us don't even see it happening. To really understand what's happening on the field, you have to understand this constant tug of war. So let's get into it. Let's meet the key players in this invisible game. Think of these four forces as the main characters in our story. They're always on the field, they're always in play, and believe me, mastering them is the real secret to elite performance. Okay, so let's start with the one force that is a constant for every single athlete on the planet. This is the universal opponent, whether you're a high jumper trying to clear a bar or a weightlifter just trying to stand up. The thing about gravity is it never lets up. It's always pulling down, every second of the day. This means an athlete isn't just competing against another person. They are in a constant, never-ending fight against the planet itself. So if gravity is the constant opponent, this next force is the athlete's own personal superpower. It's the force they generate from within to actually make things happen. This right here is the engine behind pretty much every action you see in sports. A boxer's punch, a swimmer's stroke, a cyclist pushing down on the pedals. It all starts with this internal push or pull. All right, now for the tricky opponent. This is the one that fights back harder the faster you try to go. It's like an invisible wall that every sprinter, cyclist, and even a thrown football has to smash through. Just think of it like this. The air itself is pushing back on you. The faster an athlete moves, the more air they have to shove out of the way, and the stronger that pushback becomes. So if you want to be fast, you have to be smart about managing this force. Now for the force that, and this might sound weird, makes movement even possible in the first place. It's the very reason we can jump, the reason we can run, and the reason we don't just, sink into the ground. And this is a perfect example of Newton's third law. When a sprinter pushes down and back on the starting blocks, what happens? The ground pushes them up and forward with the exact same force. So it's not really the athlete's push that moves them, it's the ground's push back. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so now that we've met our four key forces, let's head out onto the field and see how they actually battle it out in a few real-world examples. Let's take a cyclist. To speed up, the force they put into the pedals has to be greater than the drag from the air. Simple enough. But to hold a steady speed, it's a perfect stalemate. The force they put in has to exactly equal the force of the air pushing back. The second they get tired and that power dips, air resistance wins, and they start to slow down. It's this constant, delicate dance. So for a sprinter, at the start, it's all about one thing: pure explosive power. They have to generate a massive amount of muscular force to create a ground reaction force that's strong enough to beat their own inertia and, of course, that constant downward pull of gravity. And here's where it gets really interesting. When you're running on flat ground, the vertical forces are always balanced. Gravity pulls down, the ground pushes up. But the real fight is horizontal. To accelerate, your muscular force has to win against air resistance. To keep a steady pace, those two forces have to be in a perfect tie. Now, think about a football right after it's been kicked. The player's job is done, that muscular force is gone. From that split second on, two other key forces completely take over and decide its entire journey through the air. And this is exactly why a great free kick is such a work of art. The player has to give the ball just enough initial oomph to fight air resistance all the way to the goal, while also calculating the perfect angle so the gravity can do its thing and pull the ball down just behind the wall and into the back of the net. It's an incredible split-second physics calculation. So, after seeing all these forces go head-to-head, what's the real winning formula here? What's the big takeaway from all this? At the end of the day, winning in sports isn't just about being the strongest. It's really about being the most efficient. The whole game is about minimizing the forces that are trying to hold you back, like gravity and air resistance, while absolutely maximizing the forces that are trying to propel you forward. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you can see this invisible tug of war, which force do you think is the hardest for an athlete to truly master? Is it generating that raw internal muscular force? Is it overcoming the relentless pull of gravity? Or is it managing that tricky, ever-increasing drag from air resistance? It's something to think about the next time you're watching a game.